Hey everyone, welcome to another Anime Kingdom review. See by tab below, yes, this is on episode 19 of Recreators, and honestly, such an awesome episode. Ever since this whole thing, the whole festival thing has begun, it's just every episode is getting better and better and better in different ways. I mean, for goodness sakes, episode 17 was just pure awesomeness with action and intensity. Episode 18 had a lot of crazy moments, a lot of twists and turns, and then this one, such a great character driven episode. There's so much different moments in this episode that like literally had me just like my jaw dropped because of what happened and what these characters had said in these certain parts and their emotions, their reactions going throughout the whole thing, not just for the creations but also for the creators that literally, I don't know, I was left speechless. I'm not gonna lie. I did not, I'm not gonna say I did not expect, someone to die. I was kind of expecting that somewhere along the way in these, these last coming episodes, someone was bound to die. The only person that has died, in this entire series so far has been Mamika, but with this whole battle going, it was bound to happen that someone was going to end up being, and you end up getting killed and everything. And for me at least, like I expected there was a chance that Alistaria would get killed just by how everything went and how her character, especially with the whole kind of threw a death flag with like her wanting to get revenge for Mamika. Like it was not gonna happen. We know that Altair is just way too powerful, and right when we saw her fighting pretty much 1v1 for the longest time, I pretty much knew that it was going to be, probably if someone were to die, it was probably going to be her. It didn't change the fact that it was still really sad. Like I said, and a lot of people have said as well, Alistaria's character for the first half of the series, it's kind of like Sota's, like how I didn't like Sota's character a lot. I really did not like Alistaria's character a lot in the first half. But she's, of course, changed more and more and more, kind of like a lot of our characters. That's why I love this series, that you really see that, when they talk about how the characters are in the show, they really have changed, not just from the, from the show, but just overall in general. The development that we've seen for all of our characters has definitely changed a lot from, Alistaria being just all about justice and really just not seeing eye to eye with anyone, not really, thinking clearly. But after her encounter with her creator, after the whole thing with Sota, she has definitely changed. And overall, like when I saw her die, it definitely was kind of sad, especially like I felt that the impact of everything that happened with her dying was 10 times worse because of her creator breaking down and crying after. That part was when it was like, damn, that is sad right there. Like when she died, overall I expected her death to be something like this, and clearly, like Altair said, you may be the hero, but this is not your story. It was probably the best words that you could have said, that this is this isn't any of their stories, really. Honestly, this is like a main story with like, there's not a real main character. If there's a main character, it would be Altair, obviously, or she's the main antagonist. There's not really a main character. If anything, that main character would probably be Sota if I had to pick one person, just for the fact that at the end of this episode, you can only assume that the only way that Altair is going to be defeated, since we've seen Alistaria use her strongest move, we've seen the combined efforts of Yuya, Sho, Blitz, and Hikayu going up against her, and that could not stop her. Nothing can stop her. She literally bends truth and reality itself. When you have a super strong move like Alistaria used, right when she said that she was gonna go all out and everything, I knew for a fact right there and then that move wasn't gonna work. When she stabbed her, I was like, no, she ain't dead. That ain't gonna work. Something happened, right? And yep, just like how that one moment when Celestia and Alistaria were fighting, and obviously she changed her weapon to like a rose, I think, and she ended up getting stabbed. Celestia ended up getting stabbed. Something like that was going to happen, and that is exactly what we got with, instead of her getting hit, Alistaria got hit. So it was kind of to be expected that something like that was going to happen. Still was a very emotional moment when that happened. I felt sorry for her. I kind of wanted her to get her revenge for Mamika and everything, because I liked Mamika's character, and finally, now that Alistaria is not, just revenge driven and doesn't see who's the real person who killed her, and that is, of course, a combined effort to kill her, because it was, in the end, she was really killed by Magane. I mean, maybe Magane could have done something to save her, you know. But in the end, the person who really did kill her was, of course, you know, Altair. So in the end, that moment was one of the moments that literally the character made the episode a really good character driven episode, because you saw a lot of development for her character, and the impact of the creator as well was really just like, honestly, I did not know what to say after that point. I was like, holy shit, okay, there's one person down. The rest of the episode, no one else is gonna die, right? I honestly thought that. I'm not gonna lie. And the last person that I thought was gonna die ended up dying. Well, one of the last people. The people who, you know, so far I kind of think that is, you know, not gonna be a chance of them dying is, of course, you know, Celestia, Meteora, and Sota, the original three. I honestly did not expect what happened with Celestia. I expected the whole encounter between her and Karen, or Charon, whatever his name is. You know, I expected this, you know, it to go pretty much the way it did. It was going to be a very conflicting thing for her, and someone was going to get hurt, which obviously it was Rui, and it was going to be kind of her trying to change his mind, him trying to change her mind, and all these kind of things. And it was even cool to see their creator and everything realize that, yes, his character in the story normally, you know, he wouldn't give up and everything like that, but even in the story he was tired of war and everything. So what makes sense is that we've seen throughout the series already that all of our characters have changed, so it would make sense that he would as well. And unfortunately, it was more for him kind of going more into despair, and just he wants it all to end, and he wants his world to be changed. He does not want war anymore, even if it has to, Celestia is the one that he has to beat to stop this from happening. He still will, and you saw that he did not hold back when he went up against her. I was actually surprised at the fact that two of the characters that you don't see as much, honestly, they had the most impact for me, in my opinion, besides of course the deaths. But Rui, I loved his speech. I loved when he grabbed the sword and was like, you're the one. I'm a hero. You're not a hero. You're the one that's afraid that, what Celestia is saying and everything. And I was like, damn, go Rui. And it was a pretty badass moment. It's always cool when you start hearing the main characters yelling and start attacking, and he just slapped him down to the ground. I was like, damn, Rui, good job. And the other person that I did not expect to have any, dialogue that would be anything impactful to anyone was Hikayu. I was not expecting her to come along and be the one to change, Celestia's mind. I thought, I don't know, maybe it'd be Meteora, maybe it would be Sota, someone along those lines. I did not expect it to be Hikayu at all, honestly. And it was cool that they, had it where she explained from her point of view on how she knows how she's feeling, everything from her events that happened in her game. Yes, her game may not be the kind of game where she loses people because of war and stuff, but there are still moments like this where it kind of, you can compare it and everything with regret, and that's why she was able to be the one to end up telling Celestia and getting her to change her mind, which, like I said, I was completely surprised. I did not expect there to be as much development with Hikayu's character. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of thought her character was more of a fan service kind of thing, I thought when they brought her in, it was more of a joke, more of a funny thing, and then you got her outfit coming in as fan service. Sure, she is pretty damn fucking strong, but I didn't expect anything more out of that, But after that, of course, there was also moments with, I really love the way that Yuya has changed as well. He's a lot more wise. Even Blitz admits it. Even Sho is saying that he's a lot different. He's not as, just wants to fight and all that kind of stuff. And it's cool to see that these characters really have changed from when we first started the whole series and how they were supposed to be in their shows. And like we said, a big thing was that the characters are changing, the creations are changing, and it's cool to see in these final episodes that everyone has changed in a lot of ways. Yuya is a lot more wise. You see Celestia changing as well. You see Rui. You see every single person so far, including Sota and Alistair, who I hated in the first half, has changed a lot. So yeah, that's why I honestly think that this episode has probably been the best in terms of how you can see how much things have changed for all of our characters. That's why it was such a good character-driven episode in comparison to all the action and everything in the previous episodes, all the twists and turns in the previous episodes. This was definitely a much more impactful episode because not only of the deaths, but because of seeing the change that has happened throughout, all of our different characters. And honestly, I'm kind of so right now with how I feel about Celestia's death, because I'm not too sure if this is, obviously the end. There's the whole thing with Sota and him being able to, his idea is going to be what stops Altair. We can already pretty much assume that by the fact that, no one can beat her at this moment. Everyone has tried. All their strongest moves has tried, and so far Altair just bends space and reality itself, bends truth, bends everything. Nothing can stop Altair, so pretty much the only way to be able to stop her would be something like bringing back Setsuna from the dead. Now, I don't think it's going to be the for sure thing. Like I said before, it's probably going to be a combined effort of everyone as well, just for the fact that I'm pretty sure if he does bring Setsuna, we're going to have a moment where it's kind of conflicting for Altair, but there's going to be somewhere that she says something like, obviously, this is not the real Setsuna. You killed her. This isn't really her. You just making up a new person or something along those kind of lines, But that's why this, Celestia's death hasn't really impacted me as much so far yet, because of the fact that because of Magane, because she took off the shackles that was holding Sota, that was holding everyone else. Literally, these past few episodes, everything is about approval is key. They can make these characters, all their creations and everything, stronger in certain ways, but if, they can't go as far as making a move that is unbeatable, that literally can't dodge, you can't escape, or anything like that along those lines, because the audience will not approve that. But now that he does not have those chains shackling him down, Sota is pretty much God. He's pretty much like Altair in a way, but even better because he can create whatever he wants at this point. From what I saw, at least. I may be completely wrong, and that's not, there may be some, limitations of the sorts, but from how I see it at this moment, he can, not only bring back Setsuna, which of course is the key thing to being Altair, but he can also bring back everyone who has died so far, which of course includes Mamika, Alistaria, and of course Celestia. That's why at this moment I'm still not really sure how to feel, because there's still a very big chance that Celestia may come back, later in this episode. I mean, not in this episode, but in the next episodes. There's only, I think, 3 more episodes, so anything can happen. Honestly, anything can happen. But like, seriously, that still did not change the fact about how like crazy this scene was. It was a very emotional and impactful scene. Like, honestly, I did not know what to think, because I didn't expect this to happen at all. Like I said before, I did not expect, out of everyone, Celestia was one of the people I didn't expect to die. And the whole scene, the whole part when she was chasing after him and he was saying that, she can't beat him, he's stronger than her, she's always been the one to follow him. And honestly, the part where they had pretty much them looking back at all the scenes that, all the moments that they've had with each other, it made this part even more impactful. And I was like, at first I was thinking to myself that, she was going to be able to win, because when he was saying that she's stronger, he's stronger than her and she's always been following him, I was going to be like, she has changed a lot, and I'm pretty sure they've made her even stronger because of this whole thing as well, that she was going to be like, yeah, you were stronger before. But instead, what we get is this moment where she pretty much sacrifices herself. I was not expecting that at all. Karan was not expecting that at all. Rui was not expecting that at all. No one. The scene where she was pretty much telling everyone, telling Meteora, like, she's, she hopes that, they could still do it, still believe in you and everything like that. I was like, oh my gosh, this is really going to happen. She's really going to sacrifice herself. And you kind of have it at the back of your head, maybe not, because Rui's like, no, I'm not going to do it. There's another way, But in the end, boom, she sacrifices herself. Once again, like I said before, it's not just the how the emotion, the reactions, and everything of the creations, but it's the creators as well. When you see the reaction of Alistaria's creator, you get, honestly, I got super sad. When I saw this moment, I got 10 times more sad, and I was just like, oh my gosh, my jaw was literally dropped for like quite a while. I like literally could not believe what just had happened. I was like honestly just completely speechless, and like I don't know what's gonna happen next. That episode, literally that ending completely threw me off. I did not expect that to happen. But like I said, it's not as impactful yet for me, because I still do not know if she really is dead, or if any of them really are dead, because of the fact that Sota has his ability to pretty much say, yeah, I'm going to bring them back to, back to life. He's going to bring Setsuna along with Celestia and along with Alistaria and Mamika as well, probably. And since, like I said before, I don't think Setsuna is going to be the for sure thing to beat her. Is probably going to be a combined effort of everyone, and maybe they'll change, Altair's mind. Who the hell knows, honestly, at this point. There's a lot of different possibilities, and honestly, I can't wait to see these next final 3 episodes. But yeah, that's all I really gotta say, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this Anime Kingdom review. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. If anything I missed and you want to talk about, comment below as well. And if you did enjoy it, feel like, if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe for more content. And as always, guys, I want to know your guys' thoughts. How did you feel about this episode? Did you think it was as character driven as I did? Did you enjoy it as much as I did? Were you surprised as much as I was? Whatever you guys want to say, feel free to comment below. And yeah, that's all I gotta say, guys. So till next time, see ya.